What's up, everyone? This is Petravita. We are on episode 3 of the music job today, day 482, since leaving my job to do music more or less full-time. And I wanted to talk to you guys about something really important today. I'm going to keep it brief, but hopefully this will be very effective and helpful. We're going to talk about time management, more importantly, self-management, motivation, pushing through things, stuff like that, things that kind of keep me going, because if you're considering doing something similar or just you're moving towards making music or your art, whatever your thing is, a bigger part of your life, then it's going to be really, really important that you know how to manage your own time. This is something I still struggle with, but I've found some things that can really help out. Number one is I had a little notebook I was holding in some of the other videos, maybe both of them, and that notebook has a very specific purpose, and I'm going to show you the inside pages up here, hopefully, I don't know, somewhere in just a second, some pictures. What I actually do is this notebook is part of my morning routine. I've never been someone super big on, meditation, mindfulness, etc., but when I got into a groove of kind of incorporating some of that stuff into my morning routine, I can tell that I can be much more effective. And if I kind of fall off for a couple weeks, my output for those couple weeks and my music, etc., suffers. And I know when I'm kind of on it and in the zone, I stick to a schedule. For me personally, here's what that looks like. I wake up in the morning while I'm literally still in bed. I do a couple sets of push-ups and sit-ups to just wake myself up. It's kind of like my cold shower, but I'm not going to commit to going and taking a cold shower. As soon as my mind's a little bit alert, I sit still and I put a timer for 1 minute, and I do a sort of meditation where I just think about things that I'm thankful for 1 minute. I do another minute where I just think about 3 or 4 main things I want to accomplish during the day. So it could be I want to have a good live stream, I want to finish recording my latest song, and I want to finish mixing something for a client, for example. Those are some big things. There'll always be more than that to do in a day, but you get the idea. After that, I will do 1 minute of actual kind of meditation where I literally just breathing, think about nothing, practice. You can find lots of guides for this kind of stuff, but I'm only thinking about the air coming in, the air going out. I don't really think about anything else. Just kind of brings me back down, gets me ready to start the day. I come into the studio after that, and in that notebook I was talking about earlier, I write down actually those things I'm thankful for on one side, and then I do a full to-do list on the other side. And so I will literally write out a schedule almost of this is something I need to do, this as well, this as well, this as well. Go through items. There could be, 6, 12, whatever things on there. Then what I will do is I literally start going through those, and whatever order I wrote them in, I just make myself do them in that order. Because if you give yourself too much freedom with the to-do list, you tend to put off the things that are harder and avoid them. And so I just go through in whatever order I thought of things, and that usually ends up being some of the more challenging things first, because those are the first things I think of when I think of what do I need to get done today. Just run through the list. Now, keeping yourself on task as you go through these things is another thing altogether. So my strategy for that is I really like to use timers. I have a Google Home that I can have set a timer. It's just sitting on the desk. You can do it on your phone, whatever. But I will literally kind of give a guesstimate of, okay, how long do I think I should spend on this? No more than 45 minutes to get all these vocal takes and ad-libs and whatever done, okay? And then I will literally set a timer for that amount and tunnel vision in on that task for those 45 minutes. And then when it's done, I'm done. And that's what I progress for until I've done everything else on the to-do list. And so I go to the next thing. How long should this take? This is just replying to emails, doing Instagram outreach, and finding another Spotify playlist. I'm going to dedicate 15 minutes to that, set a timer for 15 minutes, etc. Give yourself a break in between. I also like to time those. I know it sounds really tedious, but you would be amazed at how much better you focus on things if you don't kind of just give yourself an amorphous amount of time to do them. You really say, this is how long I'm going to spend on this, and then you do it. So I set the timers, off to the races, etc. These are things that work for me. Doesn't mean it's going to be your cup of tea or what works, but even if it doesn't sound like it will be, I definitely implore you to try them, because these are things that sounded like things I didn't really want to do, and the how much better I feel at the end of a day when I follow this process, because I know if I'm going through this process that I will accomplish several things by the end of that day. There will be no day that I follow this where I get distracted by YouTube in the middle of something and I don't finish it, or I think I'm just going to play a round of video games in between and then all of a sudden it's an hour and a half later. It's just going through the list, setting a time, checking it off, bam, 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 till you're at the end of the list. And then you can decide. You can decide, now I want to relax and just do something else, do something leisurely, you know, or you can take it the other direction, which is great, because if you felt hype and motivated off of getting a lot of things done, oftentimes you don't even want to stop. So then you'll just fill that time with more productive stuff. So whatever time you have to do this kind of stuff each day for your music, it won't always be the full day for a lot of you. Maybe it is on a weekend. Maybe it never is something you get a full day of time. But think about it. Even if it's, you know, you live by yourself and you've got 2 to 4 to 5 hours in the evening when you come home from work before you go to bed, not counting eating dinner, that you can work on stuff each evening, then you can use this system for that amount of time. Maybe you have, it might not be a routine when you wake up first thing in the morning. It could be you get home and normally you're exhausted and you just want to take a nap. Have a routine set that as soon as you get home at 5:30, 6:30, whatever at night, you go through that routine, wake yourself up a bit. Could be quick workout, cup of coffee, do your meditation, or just write your list or your task list, whatever. Something completely unique to you could be as well. And then once that's done, just go for the amount of time. Set your timer. Literally just say, I'm going to create a new beat. I'm giving myself 35 minutes to get as far as I can on this beat. And when that's done, I'm using 20 minutes to go and reach out to Spotify playlist curators and find as many as I can for my latest single. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever your tasks are, set that time, do it. I hope this gives you guys some ideas, some motivation, help you stay a little bit organized. If you have ideas for what you'd like to hear about in a future video, what would be interesting or helpful, questions you have for me, feel free to ask them in the comments or send me a message anywhere. It's at Petravita Music on pretty much every platform. Thank you so much, and enjoy your week. Happy Monday. Woo! We're out. You stand out.